morning. Probably some of you did not hear me. I want to say good morning. That's lovely. Chennai or Madras is known for many things. One of the things I really like about Chennai is a building called Ripon Building. How many of you have been inside? Ripon Building. Sad that people who live in Chennai, you're not been into that. What is it known for? What is the Ripon Building known for? Chennai Corporation. What is the speciality of Chennai Corporation? Is it because of the Kuvam, or what exactly is it famous for? Chennai Corporation. Huh? First Municipal Corporation of India. Okay. Chennai is the first municipal corporation of India we should be proud of. Let's give a very big hand. And not only that, it's the second municipal corporation in the entire world next to London. Just imagine how Chennai is famous in the international level. It's the second municipal corporation in the world next to London. Now, when God has given that kind of privilege to people who live in Madras or Chennai, what kind of city that we need to really build? Is it a city where a lot of pastors and Christian leaders gather together and say hallelujah? That's one. Definitely yes. But is it something more than that? You know, I've seen some of these small posters talking about different people. Today, we'll talk about a nation building in God's way. That's the way that we are going. Do you have any? Right. Okay. How Christians can engage themselves in different spheres, maybe as educationists in the education field, maybe in the media, maybe as an engineer, maybe as a doctor, maybe just as a missionary, whichever field that you are in, or can also engage in government and politics. These are some of the broad areas. Now, normally, my style is not just giving a lecture. I'd like to get some information from you. We'll all get involved that way. That's right. Okay. We'll go ahead. I just want to start with this statement. Who's this gentleman? Steve Jobs. What's he known for? Okay. We all only know him about only his Apple, but the speech that he gave in Princeton University to the university students, you know, he never went into the university. He said, this is the first time I enter into the portals of university. And then he gave a wonderful speech, and he's more than any missionary. And he was the one who was engaged in business, he was engaged in politics, he was engaged in the society. He says this way, he calls his friend John Scully. Who was John Scully? Hey, come on. Business guys, most of you are there. John Scully. Yes, he was the CEO of Pepsi. Yes, many years back. Of course, now it is Indra Nooyi. But it was John Scully who was a friend of this gentleman. And he says to John Scully, John, in fact, if you read his book, he makes it very clear. John Scully's book, he makes it very clear. He says, John, do you want to spend the rest of your life selling sugared water? Sugared water means Pepsi. Okay. John, do you want to spend the rest of your life selling sugared water, or do you want a chance to change the world? I think I want to start with this statement. Some of you have been working as engineers, as IT specialists. Some of you have been working in the different fields. Some of you are working in the government. Do you want to spend the rest of your life doing what you are? As a teacher, as an engineer, as an IT specialist? Or do you want a chance to change India? A nation of 1.25 billion people. Every morning you stand up and you pray to the Lord, Lord, I want you to use me. Now the calling is very clear. Do you want a chance to change the nation. That's the whole focus of today's session. 3 sessions, my dear friends. Rahul is here. Here, Samuel Johnson is here. They will also talk a lot about this area. We will have an interactive time as to how we can bring this change in the nation. I was talking to a group of people who are from different countries. And at the end, I was giving a challenge to them. It's a government conference. I was the keynote speaker. Then I said, there was a guy, because everybody's name is kept over there. Unfortunately, here I am not able to find your name directly. The person's name, he was Kalile, Jason Kalile. He's from Tanzania. So I looked at him and said, Kalile, you want to spend the rest of your life as a government officer, or you want a chance to change your nation, Africa? Go and change Africa. Went ahead. After 2 weeks, there is a mail coming to me. Says, he calls me Sir John Samuel. I don't know why he wants to put it. Sir John Samuel, on such and such day, at 11:37 hours. He also times it very clearly. At 11:37 hours, you said, Jason Kalile, do you want a chance to change the world, change Africa? That touched my heart. And I have started that work. In a span of 2 weeks, the government has given me a major responsibility as the president of one of the largest organizations in Tanzania. Now I know what it means transforming my nation. Thank you for challenging me on that day. Today, India needs many people who will transform the nation in a big way. Go to the government, they'll say, hey, I'm looking for people who will help me in transformation of the nation. Go to Jharkhand. Samuel Johnson was mentioning right now that he is a son of a missionary. Yes, his father has worked in different places, including Santals in Jharkhand. Go and see that. What's the average life expectancy of people in Tamil Nadu? What's the average life expectancy of people in Tamil Nadu? 70? 70? No, I'm not asking about Australia. Tamil Nadu. People who live in Tamil Nadu. 70? 60? In Tamil Nadu, up to what level people live? What age people live generally on an average? As per the government statistics, somewhere around 70, 72. That's the way it has. We have progressed. You go and ask a person or the district collector or the chief secretary in Jharkhand, what's the average expectancy, life expectancy of people who live in Jharkhand, especially the tribals? It's between 40 and 45. Most of them die somewhere around 40. Now, the government says, who will help me in the transformation of these people? Maybe we talk about a research in India, which is happening in Chennai, in Delhi, in Mumbai. It's fine. But India is a nation of 600,000 villages, and India is a nation of many tribes. Who will lift them up? Who will transform the nation where the people still, their average life expectancy is only 45? There's a group called, apart from Santal, you have Maltos there. Maltos, the government said that it's a small community of somewhere around 3 lakhs people. From 3 lakh, it became 2 lakhs. 2 lakh became 1 lakh. 1 lakh became 80,000. The government opened its hand up and said, we can't do anything. This is a group which is dying. Because nobody to help them. They live on the top of the mountains. So the government announced that maybe in a few years, this entire community will be obliterated. That's the time Friends Missionary Prayer Band, 30 years ago, woke up and said, hey, I want to send some people. There was one person by name Jayaraj from Tirunelveli. He said, I'll go. Yes, here is the missionary from FMPB, right here. Mr. Jayaraj said, I will go. And I'll go and live among those people. Man, just 9 months, dead and gone. Young man who went with his wife, just 9 months, because it's a place infected with every disease. Nobody is going to help them. And from the top, there is no roads that connects the people. If somebody is sick, even to bring the person down, it will take 3 days to bring it over here. Second missionary went. Third missionary went. Many people gave their lives. And today, you go and ask the district collector, he'll say, today the population still is there as 80,000 because the FMPB missionaries came over there. Let me tell you, just 3 weeks back, one of the doctors who worked in Ernakulam, Cochin, she came and she said, I want to work among the people of Maltos. Will you send me? I don't know how God led her. She came all the way. I was in Danishpet attending a conference. She came with her husband, said, God has called me to work among the people of Malto. Immediately we have recruited. We are sending her over to the place. And there are a lot of missionaries who worked. And today, out of that 80,000 people, let me share with you this thing. Out of 80,000 Maltos, almost close to 65,000 to 70,000 are Christians today. Many of them slowly, they are educated. They are, if you go to that particular area, the ladies will come and shake your hands. And they will say, thank God that you people came over here. Now, who will transform such places where they are urgent? The government says, no, I can't do anything. I can't do anything. I lived in Kashmir for almost 3 years. The government sent me to Kashmir as the Chief Postmaster General. Thank God. Because I don't know whether you are aware of this fact or not. Kashmir is the only place where there are no missionary institutions. No FMPB, no IEM, no IMS, no GEMS, no CSI, no CNI. You tell the name, no one has based their missionaries there. So God sent me as a missionary. And I always said that when God called me and sent me to the government service, I'm a missionary paid by the government for bringing God's values to the whole nation. A place where there are no missionaries could go, the government picked me up and said, they called me one of the days and said, John, the governor and chief minister wants a person who will influence or who will bring changes in the Jammu and Kashmir. I said, yes, I'm ready to jump. I know. Have you been to Kashmir? How many? The remaining people, why you didn't want to go there to Kashmir? Hey, why? What happened? Huh? It's peaceful than Chennai, let me tell you. The kind of violence sometimes that takes place in and around Chennai, that's a place far peaceful. Maybe around the borders is a different thing. Okay. Right there, somewhere in February, I went to Kashmir. And as the flight was coming into the airport, I saw the beautiful area. It's full of snow. And I want you to go there. If you want to really enjoy snow, it's a beautiful place, especially January, February, March, April. It's almost like Switzerland. I enjoyed it. I said, that's a beautiful place God is sending me. Came out, and a lot of people were there to receive me. And they said, welcome to Kashmir. So there was a car, white ambassador car with a lal batti, red light. And Sir, this is the car, let's go. So I just went and opened the door in the back. It was tough to open. So I asked the guy who's standing next to me, hey, the car looks good. Why I find it very difficult to open the car? He says, sir, this is bulletproof car. The first shock comes. This is bulletproof car. So I look at the back for the first time. There is another car or a van which is having around 4 or 5 people with a 10 gun to protect me. Then these guys, I see, look here, Chief Postmaster General is one of the terrorist targets. Anytime you can be shot at. That's a good welcome. Okay, so I got into the car. The man who was sitting next to me, sir, welcome to this place. Let me tell you the ground rules now that you've been posted here. Never go out. Stay inside your office. It's well protected. If you're going out anywhere, you have to take all these protection people around, and very rarely you go out. Take leave after 1 month, 3 months chutti, then come back, go to Jammu, don't come to Srinagar. I said, God called me to transform Kashmir, and these people are saying that I should pack my things and go. So I told them, this is the exact word that I said. My help comes from the above. My help comes. 3 years I was there, and I can tell you, I was able to influence a large number of people in the government, in the military, among the Muslims. A large number of people I could, because when God puts you in the right place, these are places where otherwise you can't go. God gives you an opportunity. Will you not take it up? Yeah, that's a place where I could probably spend time with the chief minister, with the governor, could share the gospel. There was a time I could go to most of the Muslims where they will come and tell you. And in fact, after 6 months, 3 people came to my office. They were like him, with... I don't know whether, yes, lovely. And then, they had a cap. And so my PA is also Muslim. He said, sir, there are 3 people who have come to see you. They have not got any appointment, but they look a little different, a little bit dangerous. I asked them, why do you want to see? No, they said it's a courtesy call. Should I send them in? I said, why not? Please send them in. They come. I said, Mr. John Samuel, we have been seeing you for the last 6 months. Let me tell you, we know that you're a Christian, but there is no one other than you who has influenced the lives of all the Kashmiris here. You have come and transformed the entire state. We wanted to thank you for the good work that you have been doing. I said, God has sent me for a specific purpose. So when I talk about chance to change the world, when God calls you, whatever purpose, today, at the end of this day, probably you are going to have a Chennai declaration. And you may have your own declaration before God. And if God calls you for a specific purpose, I will tell you that He will put you there to transform. As a young boy studying in St. Xavier's College, Palangotai, huge auditorium. There was Father Verkey, who was the principal of the college, who stood up and said, hey, we want people to transform the nation. He was giving almost like an evangelistic message to the entire crowd. We want people to transform the nation. I want you to be ready. Then finally he said, hey, if you want to transform nation, come on, I'll give you a chance. So, I looked at the UESI. Many times I've attended the EU camps, and okay, he's going to call me as a missionary. And this is a college where plenty of non-Christian guys are also there. He said, who would like to write civil service and get into IAS? God, everybody puts their heads down. And then he calls a question. He says, if 100 people write civil service, how many people will pass? Okay, same question I am putting it to you. 100 people write, how many people will pass? Very recently results have come, right? We all know. What is the 100 people write civil service, how many people will pass? Come on. 10%, good. 1%, hey, it's huge difference. 3%. Okay, that's what also I thought, like 10% is a pretty good number. Then he said, if 1,000 people write, 2 people will pass. So everybody said, no, then we don't want to write. Then he gave a challenge. Hey, still, India needs you. India is steeped in corruption. India is steeped in violence. India is steeped in many problems of development. Will you go there and transform the nation? God told me, John, you are interested to go to North India. You said that you will obey my call. And if I help you to write civil service exam, what's your problem? I said, no, I know I study very well. I come in first in the college, but that doesn't matter. Here, out of 1,000, where is nothing? I'm not a city kid. I'm a small village man. God said, come on, you raise your hand. And he says, who will write civil service? Raise your hands. My hand went up. I looked at everyone. There's not even one hand, only one. He called me, John, come to the front. He knows me because I was studying very well. And he called me another professor, Professor Srinivasan. Srinivasan, you will take care of him until he gets into the civil service. That's how I began. It was a call from the principal who said, will you spend the rest of your life as a chartered accountant, as a teacher, as an engineer, getting enough money, or do you want a chance to change India? You may be in a very good job, but do you want a chance to change India? That's the way that we are going to look at it. What's God's way of, building a nation? God's way of blessing a nation? God's way of really making a great nation? God called Abraham. He said, Abraham, he said, yes, I want you to go to places which you do not know. Maybe to Bihar, right? Where Nitish is doing very well now. Don't worry, you can still go there. A lot of GEMS missionaries are working. Maybe to places like Gujarat, where Modi and his teams, a lot of people are there. They will support you, don't worry. Right? Where there are plenty of places. Jharkhand, Punjab. Go where I am showing you, to the place which you do not know. And then he says, I will make you into a great nation. Please understand. Making of a nation. When we talk about redefining mission, God says, I will make you into a not nation. That's the beauty of the entire beauty of this entire thing is that God says, I will make you into a great nation. We may be saying so many things about India, but we all know where we stand today in the international level. Where we stand in terms of education, where we stand in terms of many parameters. God says, I want to make India into a great nation. I want to make Tamil Nadu into a great state, great nation through you. It's God's way of making the nation. Then he says, I will bless you, I'll make your name great, and you will be a blessing to many others. So, when we talk about, building a nation building, we say, God says, God is calling, it's God's calling. It's God's power, not your power and my power. If God's calling is there and says, be involved in the transformation of Tamil Nadu, be involved in the transformation of Chennai. I know there are 70, 80 people are here. Can you transform Chennai? As I said, this is a place of repentance. This is a place, the first corporation in India. Can you stand up as Christians, networking together with everybody and say, yes, we would like to make Chennai a great place to live with God's values? That's a challenge. I really like this verse. Genesis chapter 18 verse 19. This is what God tells when just before Sodom and Gomorrah. Before destroying Sodom and Gomorrah, I'm not sure whether you have been reading this verse. It says, God tells on his own. He says, how can I not tell Abraham, my friend? I should tell him because he is my friend. And then he says, for I have chosen him. Why I have chosen him? So that he will direct his children and household after him. He will direct the generation to keep the way of the Lord by doing what is right and what is just. Two things. Why you are called? Why you are called to make a great nation? You will tell the next generation, your children, people around you, the whole generation, two things. What is right? What is just? We need to do that. We need to do that. Righteousness, justice should cover the entire nation. Who will be able to do that? Not many people with ungodly values. They are not able to do that. But when God has called you and me, if we are able to go and say, God has called me so that I will tell the next generation what is right and what is just. You're posted as a police officer, you're posted as a district collector, you're posted as a postmaster general, you may be posted as an income tax officer, wherever God posts you in the government. Or you're a member of the legislative assembly or member of the parliament. God says, influence the nation in such a way that there will be righteousness and justice. Today we are blaming the chief ministers, right? Why Tamil Nadu is so bad? Every day you talk about, you go through your Facebook, there are plenty of criticism about chief ministers. Plenty of criticism about prime minister. Don't blame them. Blame the church. You have been called to tell the people what is right and what is just. You have failed to do so and you are singing only hallelujah. It's good. And you are saying that God has called me and God has written my name in the books of heaven. Yes, it's pretty good. But you have not done this job. Go and influence the people around you. How can you do that? What's the role of the mission? It's nothing other than people reaching people. Please understand. People reaching people. Industrial IT specialists reaching IT specialists. Doctors reaching more doctors. Engineers reaching more engineers. People reaching people everywhere. Take this very simple concept. Can I reach the people? Tamil Nadu has, what's the percentage of Christians in Tamil Nadu? Tamil Nadu population, Christian population. Around 8%, yes. Around 7.2 is the official figures. Probably we can say somewhere around 9% is in population in Tamil Nadu as a Christian population. People reaching people. A small group of people is adequate. 7% is more than adequate to cover the study by the United Nations in Africa. It says that if 2% of the people have a right cause, they are so sincere to spread that right cause among the remaining people. It says, very interesting, it says it takes just 5 years to reach the remaining 98% with that good cause. I was much impressed and I was much encouraged by result of the study. 2% of the people is enough to influence the remaining 98% of the people if you have the right cause and if you are doing with all sincerity. All it takes is 5 years. 2016. Elections are just over. 2021. 5 years. You have seen what happened in Tirunelveli, Thoothukudi and Kanyakumari. History. Yes? Yes or no? You watching the results? Come on, no response. What happened there? Huh? What happened there? That's the only place where the results are totally different. Right? Okay. 5%, 7% of the people are here. 5 years are before you. Pray that God will work through you and me to bring a transformation in Tamil Nadu. Yes? Yes or no? What is the population in Tamil Nadu? Around 8 crore, 7 crore to 8 crore. Out of the 8 crore, probably you are somewhere close to 1 crore. And let me tell you, in 5 years' time, if you and I work that, our objective is the people reaching people. That's what I was telling the FMPB. There are lakhs and lakhs of youngsters who have been part of the Friends Missionary Prayer Band. You go to any place, any city, there are lots of people. You go to any church, there are plenty of people. Network them together and say that we want to transform Tamil Nadu. Not just sitting over here and say, okay, I'm a good engineer. But can I bring a transformation? And then in the 5 years, next election when it comes in, if you say, in 5 years we worked, and here is the transformation that's happening. Do you think it's possible? Yes? I think morning, did they give it too much of breakfast or anything? Or they did not have breakfast, I don't know. I think we need to work. We need to work. Don't be complacent with what you have been doing. Bring a change. Bring the transformation. God says, I will make you into a great nation. Provided you tell him, Lord, I am ready. There are districts like Dharmapuri, Namakkal. In those areas, the Christian population is less than 1%. Please understand. Less than 1%. Okay. People reaching people, and the role of mission is blessing the whole nation, India, with the values of Jesus Christ. That's what we require. We require you in every field. If God calls you as a missionary, come. If God calls you as a government servant, come. If God calls you and say, hey, I want to stand for an election in the next election, or I want to stand in an election in the panchayat, go and work on. What stops us from influencing? Go ahead. I like this statement of Edmund Burke. Who's Edmund Burke? Christians, we read only Bible. Yeah, I understand that. I'm sorry to ask this wrong question. Read every book. He's a famous philosopher, and he's a parliamentarian from UK. He has made tremendous value on transformation. He says this way, all that is necessary for the triumph of evil is that good men do nothing. All that is necessary for the triumph of evil in India is that good men and women like you and me go, pray, and do nothing. God calls you and me to pray, but don't stop with prayer. In Luke chapter 10, God called 70 disciples, 70 people, and says, hey, pray. The harvest is plenty. The workers are few. Pray. But then he says, go. Preach. Bless them. Transform them. All that is necessary. Today, the problem in India is not the politics. The problems in India is that even though missionaries came here many years back, we do not want to go beyond our zone of comfort. Zone of comfort. A man called Rainius who came all the way to Palayamkottai. I think he came to Chennai first. From Chennai he came to Palayamkottai and then he went to Puliyangudi. And if you go and see his tomb there in Palayamkottai along with his wife, they are buried over there. In his lifetime, he has established more than 350 churches and more than 153 schools in and around Palayamkottai. Amazing thing. Today there is one man called Arthur Jabraj in Paint area in Maharashtra. He has established one missionary going there along with his wife. 103 churches he has established. Very recently he called us and said, "Brother, 103rd church is being dedicated. Now another 10 churches are still being built up." Say hallelujah, come on. Yes. All that is necessary for the triumph of evil is that you and I get into our zone of comfort. We do not move out of the zone of comfort. We need to move to the zone of courage. That's what Esther did. She was all the time, she was in the zone of comfort until one day she said, "Yes, I'm ready. Go, fast for me. I, along with my people, will also fast. If I die, I die." You heard of a person who is generally referred as the lady with the lamp. Yeah? Who's that? Florence Nightingale. Where is she from? England. Florence Nightingale, a young girl who committed her life to the Lord, who said, "I see nothing but death." She was 31 years old. She was a nurse. "I see nothing but death in my life." And until the Lord touched her and said, "I call you." God's calling was in her life. And there was a time the Crimean War broke out. She said, "God is calling me to go and help the people who are wounded in the Crimean War." Parents are very rich, filthy rich people. They said, "What do you mean? You want to go to France where these people, the wounded soldiers are over there? No, I'm not willing to send you. If you want to be here, yes. In the comfort of London, yes, no problem. I'll send you by my Mercedes car every day. Go and work as a nurse. Nothing beyond that." She said, "This is God's calling. How do I stop?" Parents said, "If you disobey us, we will disown you." This is the word that she said. If you disobey us, we will disown you. I think this happens in many homes. She said, pleadingly, crying to their parents, "Dad, Mom, I don't want to disobey you, but I want to tell you, I don't want to disobey God. And God calls me to go and help the people who are wounded in Crimean War. Allow me to go." They shut the door. They said, "No more. You can't come back to your home if you're going out." With nobody to help, she went. She picked up another 16 people, nurses. He went over there. I want to tell you the story as to why she is called the lady with the lamp. When she went there, throughout the day there is bombs going on. A lot of people are dying. And bodies are being brought out. Wounded people are being brought out. And then, in the night, they will switch off the lights, because if they put on the lights, they know that this is a place where some work is going on, so they'll put the bomb. She used to pick up a small lamp in her hand. That's a torchlight, small light. She will, as a courageous woman called by God, she will go and help everyone who was wounded. And the soldiers did not have the courage to ask her what was her name. But they all know that there is a lady with the lamp who is coming, helping us. And one man photographed her when she was helping with the lamp. The next day, it was published in the newspapers in London. Lady with the lamp. Nobody knew the name. Lady with the lamp. This is how people from London have been helping those affected who are in Crimean War. Next day, a lot of people flocked to the house of this lady, and the parents were shocked. What happened? Said, see, look at the picture. We know this is your daughter. This is your... The parents were filled with tears. The parents who shut the door, they said, we are proud of her. A few months later, she came back in the flight, and almost the entire London town was there to receive her. And in the front row was her parents, dad and mom, going and hugging her, transforming the society. We need people who will transform the nation. Mother Teresa, who came all the way to India when she was hardly 16 years old, heard God's calling on her way to Darjeeling from Kolkata. And she said, I am going to resign my job as a teacher because God calls me to start a mission to help the poorest of the poor in Kolkata by name Missionaries of Charity. You all know this story. She went to the bishop, the archbishop. She said, I want to start this Missionaries of Charity because that's a God's calling to me. I want to help the poorest of the poor. He says, how much money you have to start an organization? She puts her hand into her pocket and she says, I got 100 rupee note. That's the only thing that I have. Nothing more. That's how she started a small organization. I had an opportunity to travel along with her in the flight, one of the Air India flights, one of the days. Suddenly the pilot announces, ladies and gentlemen, today we have a very, very special guest traveling with us. She is none other than Bharat Ratna, the Nobel Prize winner, Mother Teresa. Everybody gets up, puts their hands, they look at Mother Teresa, a frail-looking lady, smiling. Then the pilot again announces, I got a special announcement from her. She wants to tell you that there are thousands of people, young boys and girls and old people in Kolkata who do not have food. In this Air India flight, when the food is being served to you, if you choose not to eat it and give it to her, she would like to carry those packages and give it to the poorest of the poor. I looked at the people around. On that day, not even one person was having the food inside the flight. She was willing to beg for the sake of those poor. She transformed the whole nation. Today, when India talks about Christians, Mother Teresa stands tall. I want many Mother Teresas to come up from Chennai, from this group. That's how we can transform the nation. All that is necessary for the triumph of evil is that good men don't stop doing nothing, but start involving. And then, we all know him as a great intellectual. And he also says, the world will not be destroyed by those who do evil, but by those who watch them without doing anything. What a challenge. India will not be destroyed by those who do evil. No. But India can be destroyed if people who watch all these things that are happening, and still they don't do anything. Today, my challenge is, can you stand up and say, I'm ready? That's what God calls us. Yeah, go ahead. We all know this verse, 1 Peter 2:9. It says, you are a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people acquired for a possession. Last verse, very interesting. Last part. So that you may tell out the virtues of him. So that you may tell the values of Jesus Christ to the people around you. Not just singing hallelujah, not just going and preaching, but you may tell the people what's God's values so that the entire nation comes back. In Delhi, I have a ministry with the most of the members of the parliament and the ambassadors. Some of them badly need your touch. When we spend time with them, they feel, yes, God has put them as the members of the parliament. Probably nobody has gone and tell them, see, look here, we are praying for you. Because we always associate them, okay, here is a member of the parliament. Hey, dirty. Right? I was in the airport I know Mr. Ajit Yogi very well. I was the Postmaster General in Chhattisgarh. Know him very well. And after he moved out of the Chief Minister's ship, later on when I met him in one of the airports, John, how are you? All talk for some time. Then he says, John, I hope you're praying for me. Now, it struck me. I know I was not praying for him after that. How many of us have been praying for some of the members of the parliament? Yeah. I know many members of the parliament, when they come over there to Delhi, especially the Christian members of the parliament, they sit with them, pray with them, challenge them. Hey, we are with you. It's required. And God willing, in 2021, when the elections happen, I want some of you to stand for the members of the Legislative Assembly. That's how you can bring transformation. You can bring more transformation. It's difficult, not easy, tough, not an easy job. You can do your engineering job very easily, but becoming a member of Legislative Assembly or becoming a member of Parliament is not an easy job. Member of the Parliament from Tuticorin, I forget his name. No. Natterjee, Mr. Natterjee says, holding my hands, John, when they gave me that I was selected as the nominee for the member of the parliament, I had no money even for nomination. I went and told my wife that I have been nominated for this, but I don't have money. Should I refuse? She said, no, don't worry. I will take my chain and I will pawn it and I'll give you the money. He says, that's how I started. He says, I had no money and I didn't want to, spoil the things. But at the same time, when God had called me, and I did not really run for this particular thing. When God has called me, He said, He will help me. And then He said, yes, money did come in a different form, not in my hands, but in different hands. And finally, when I was elected as a member of the parliament, I knew that it was God's calling. I want to do something for the people of Tuticorin. Do that. Many areas, many such people, many things can be done when God calls you for a specific purpose. You may tell the virtues of Him to the entire generation. That's the joy of being a Christian. Okay, I want to touch 3 divine institutions. God created institutions. God ordained institutions. What are they? Again, if you read all Christian books, is very clear. That means you are reading only Bible. All Christian theology books makes it clear. What are the 3 divine institutions? Family, yes. Genesis chapter 1 and 2, yes. Government. Church, excellent. Let's give a very big hand. Yeah, go ahead. Church, family, government. This is the God-ordained institution. Please understand this. Some of you are wondering why I should be involved in government, why I should be involved in politics. This is a God-ordained institution. You read the entire Bible. Family, God created. If you can influence your family, children, wife, husband, God calls you to influence them. Don't say, I'm not able to influence them, I'm influencing my church. The whole family. The whole church. Church should be an influence. And then you should get involved in the government. These are the 3 institutions. God-ordained institutions. Because it's a God-ordained institution, there is a great change that is required. Now, tell me the difference between North Korea and South Korea. What is the difference between North Korea and South Korea? What is the common thing between North Korea and South Korea? They are the same people. Koreans, same descent, same people. The only difference is between the two countries is the government, politics. That's the only difference. And you see one nation where there is oppressive laws, there is no freedom. Another nation there is freedom, and where God's love, where there is freedom to preach the gospel. Which one you want? Yeah? Which kind of country you want? You're free. A nation where you'll be able to preach the gospel. A nation where there'll be joy. A nation there is freedom. Where the nation there is growth. If you and I can work towards India, which is free. Sometimes we talk about, persecution in the church, persecution of people, persecution of the church members, and very many problems that are around. And at the same time, we don't want to get into politics. We don't want to get into government. Wherever I go, I always challenge the young people. I know, how many of you are less than 32 here? Please raise your hand. Less than, pretty. God, yeah. If you are less than 32, you have a chance to write civil service still. Beyond 32, sorry. You're past the age. I want people to write civil service. Maybe tough, but if God calls you, get into it, become one of the officers, and then you'll be able to transform. Maybe you may not get as much money as you earn in some other institutes. Doesn't matter. It's not about money. It's about the influence that you can make. But it's a tough nut to crack. If you want help, probably I can help you on this matter. But I want many people, Christians, who will come and stand up and say, yes, I want to get into civil service, not for anything, not for the power, not for the red light, not for anything else. But I want people to come up and say, I will get into the civil service because I want to be involved in the transformation of the nation. You're willing to go as a missionary and say, because there is no other condition, Lord, I am ready. Here, you say, yes, Lord, I am ready, but then work hard a little bit more. Probably if you want to get as a missionary in the FMPB or IEM or GEMS, they'll call you for an interview and straight away they'll take you. There's no examination further. Here it's a tough nut to crack. 2 people out of 1,000 people. But if you're willing, if God pushes you into that, don't run away. Don't run away. Church, family, government. I want government to be filled up with people who have God's values. So that it's not because, I want India full of Christians. No, I want India to be blessed with God's values. Don't hide your light under a bushel, which, just go ahead. We all know that. No, nor do men light a lamp and place it under the bushel. A lot of things which Christians can do in terms of development. Years ago, it was the abolition of sati in India. Christian missionaries who came, Christian civil servants who came and said, abolition of sati, come what may. I want to abolish it. In USA, abolitionists of slavery, 2/3 of the abolitionists, the members of the abolish, they were priests. They were standing in the church pulpit. They were saying that I want you to abolish the law on slavery. It was a government law. But the priests went and preached saying that this has to move out. And yes, Wilberforce, talking about Wilberforce in UK. Many such people, they were ready to stand for the right cause. Go ahead. Psalm 33:12. I love this verse. Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord. Blessed is India, whose God is the Lord. Blessed is Tamil Nadu, whose God is the Lord. Blessed is Karnataka, whose God is the Lord. I can tell you, there are times, many times, the previous President of India, Dr. Abdul Kalam, was a close friend of mine. I used to meet him quite often in the Parliament House, in the President's Palace. Both of us used to share the same dream. I used to tell him, this is the vision that God has called me, given me the dream. And I used to tell him, I want India to become a blessed nation. And he used to tell me, John, you and I have the same vision. I want India to be a very strong nation. It means basically a blessed nation. If India has to be a blessed nation, there is only one answer. Let me reiterate and repeat it. There is only one answer. It can come only through Jesus Christ. There is no other way. If so long as Christians do not really know strongly about this particular thing, blessedness cannot come. It can't come come through prime ministers. It can't come through people. It can come only through Jesus Christ's values. That means until and unless the government is filled with God's people, this won't come. Go ahead. Who said this? To all we give the assurance that it will be our endeavor and to end poverty and squalor and its companions, hunger and diseases, to abolish distinction and exploitation and to ensure decent conditions of living. Who said this? No, it's an Indian. Yeah, very famous person. He said this. Huh? It was said before 1947. Before 1947. We still repeat the same. To give all people, we give the assurance that we will end poverty and squalor. Who said it? Huh? No. He can't give an assurance. It's one of the politicians who said it. Nehru, no. Come on, read the history. It's a very famous statement. Okay, go ahead. Next. Who's this man? Yes, it was Rajendra Prasad before 1947 as the president of the Constituent Assembly. He said, to all the people of India, we give an assurance that India will be free of poverty and squalor. You tell me, today also 1/3 of the nation is under poverty line. Poverty. To all people, we give assurance that we will end poverty. Not only that, we will end distinction, exploitation, no caste. Distinction and exploitation. How many of the Christians, when they write, they put in their record, I belong to such and such caste. What a shame it is. You bring down your own status and you call yourself as a backward caste. I can say happily if you are a forward caste and you say, yes, I am a forward caste. But you want to call yourself as a backward caste when God calls you, puts you up and say, my son, you are my race. Distinction should come out. You know, my daughter, when we live in Delhi, and for her studies in the college, we thought we will send her to Chennai so that she will learn a little bit of Tamil. So she was sent to Women's Christian College. And lo and behold, she did not learn Tamil, she learned Malayalam. Because in the hostel, it's only people from Kerala and people from Gulf. Anyhow, it's good. That's also good. Anyhow, when she joined there, my wife came and they filled up the form, everything was done. A week later, the principal called her and said, hey, you have not filled the form. One particular column is missing. She said, what's that? Oh, you have not filled anything on caste. She said, no, I don't have any caste. She said, no. In the college, everybody must put their thing, the caste column, you must fill it. Okay. She rings up from the college. Dad, what's our caste? I said, we all told you that you don't, as Christians, we don't have any caste. We are Christians. No, but the college insists that we have a caste. Find out where is. I said, okay, go and ask them what caste we belong. I said, you write Christian, nothing more. And if the principal has anything else, let her talk to me. I'll talk to them. Christian college, Women's Christian College. You want to insist on what caste that you have? Casteism. Communalism. parochialism, regionalism. 1946, he gives an assurance that we will get out of all these things. There is only one way, Jesus Christ. Go, preach, teach, baptize, make disciples. Yeah. Transformation of the nation and holistic development is what is required. Yeah, you go ahead. George Washington says this: it's impossible to rightly govern a nation without God and the Bible. True. I think I'll just go ahead quickly and what's the future for our nation? What's the future? What's the future? A nation with 1.25 billion people, hardly 3% of them are Christian. What's the future you're looking at? Next 10 years, 20 years, another generation. What are you looking at? What kind of nation that you want to have? Let me ask you, what kind of nation that you want to have? Come on. What kind of nation you want to have? Huh? Come on, tell. I think you people are a little complacent. You don't want to say anything. Let the speaker say whatever you want. What kind of nation you want to have? Huh?
Terrorism free.
Okay, terror free. What else? Do we have terrorism? Anywhere?
Yes.
Where? All over India. Oh, I see. God. Yeah. Okay. What else? Corruption free. Yes. Huh? Blessed nation. What else? Peaceful. Poverty free. Huh? Where Christ is honored. Where women are respected. Where there is no rape. Where there is no violence. Right? And that is possible only when you and I come out of the church border and say, hey, as a family, as an individual, as a church, we will also enter into the public sphere. The public sphere of government, the public sphere of politics, the public sphere of education, the public sphere of media, many other public spheres, wherever God calls you. If we can say, we want a future for India where it will be corruption free, where it will be righteousness, where there is justice, where God's values will be seen everywhere, I want you to be involved in different fields, whichever way God calls you. If some of you are called to be a civil servant, go, prepare yourself, work hard. There is still time for you until 32 years. Go and work. Some of you feel that we should send many such people. We will all work together at the end of the day. Hey, how we can strengthen some of the people who are willing to be a civil servant, but they don't have the resources. Right? Some people say, yes, God has called me. There's a girl, I forget her name. She's from Namakkal. 3 weeks back. She rings up all the way when I'm in Delhi. John Samuel, so-and-so gave you a telephone number. I was in Salem, in Danishpet in the conference, but I got the telephone number from so-and-so. When you spoke on that day, God called me that I should become a civil servant and I want to be an IAS officer. I went and shared this thing with my parents. They were also excited, but they don't have any money. I want to study in a college where I'll be able to do well. And I want to get into one of the good colleges in Trichy because Namakkal, I do not have any good college. So I rang up one of the people in Trichy and said, okay, put her into the Bishop Heber College. In the next 3 years, we'll put her in such a way that she'll be able to study well and probably we'll be able to encourage such people to get into civil service. Do that. Some of you feel that India, especially Tamil Nadu, should see a transformation. How we can bring many people into politics from the level of panchayat, next level. Start working on. Because a future. We want future for India. Today's meeting is not about today. Today's meeting is not about yesterday as to how you were. Today's meeting is about the future. What kind of future that you want? for India. I'm glad Brother Samson and his team, they call themselves as heart shakers. Right? I want the heart shakers to become the nation shakers. Yeah. They have made a good beginning. I want you to shake the nation. Shake nations, not only nation. You know, when as a young boy, when I was praying to the Lord, Lord, send me wherever you want me. God said in Psalms chapter 2, ask of me and I will give you nations for your inheritance. I said, Lord, I don't know anything beyond Tirunelveli. Maybe 3-4 districts I know. What are you talking about nations? No, I don't know anything. And let me tell you, God sent me to more than 50 countries as a part of the United Nations. I never knew that God's plans are amazing and wonderful. God wants each and every one of you to become a person of influence. Come out. Just one. We'll just close it. Move back. What kind of nation that you want to have? That's the big thing. And today, at the end of the day, if we can say, this is the kind of nation that we want to have. If that is the case, yeah. Religion, politics. Yeah, go ahead. Don't abandon the public sphere. Go further, I think. Yeah, still further. God. I'll say it's a calling, not a career. When people get into civil service, when they come to Missouri, one of the things I always tell them, you are not here to have your red light, prestige, power and other things. This is a calling. Same thing I'm telling you. You're an engineer, you're a doctor, you're an advocate, you're a whatever may be the person you're sitting, you're a teacher. This is not a career. It's God's calling for transforming the nation. It is a covenant, not a condition. A covenant where God says, you go where I send, nothing more. You go where I send, and I will make you a great nation. God has a great plan for nation. I will say, enlarge your influence. Do not hold back. This is what the Bible says. Enlarge, lengthen, and strengthen. Enlarge your influence. Don't restrict it. When we say that you should get involved in politics or government, basically what we are saying is that enlarge. Enlarge. Now, some of you, as I said, probably are less than 32, you have a chance to write civil service, or you want to, whether you are old or young, you have definitely a chance to get into the politics also in any area, wherever it is. But spread your influence. Don't hold back. This is the day when God challenges you about the future. When God has a great plan for a nation, I also want to tell you, God has a great plan for you. God has a great plan for you. Let's go further. Go further? Yeah. Still go ahead. Still go further, I think. We need missionaries, civil servants, people in politics, engineers or doctors, educationists. I want to talk about win. We all want to win in our whichever area that we are doing it. Work well. Impact the society. Don't restrict yourself only within the impact the church. Impacting the church is essential. Impacting your family is essential. But beyond that, I want you to impact the society. And never give up. Perseverance. It's not an easy thing. You will say, getting into politics is not an easy thing. Getting into civil service is not an easy thing. It's tough, but never give up. You'll be able to really make an influence. Go further. The choice. No, I can't. India, 2.5% from 1947 onwards. From 1951, the first census, until the current statistics, it is only 2.2. Nothing more. Brother, we can't do it. I can't. Do you think we can? Yes? Can we all say we can? We'll say it with our hands. We can. We will. Yes. That's a way that we really want to do it in a big way. I want you to influence the nation with the values of God. Together, as a responsible community, as a called community, as heart shakers who are called to redeem the nation and redeem the system and the hope that heals. I want you to really get into the area where God calls you. Come out of your comfort zone. Move into the courage zone. Wherever God calls you. Thank you so much.